Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Rampage from Independence, Missouri. To open the show, we had Jake Hager versus Eddie Kingston. Eddie and Jake go right at it, with Hager starting out strong and wearing Eddie down with hard clubbing blows. Hager dumps Eddie outside and keeps on him, smashing him with hard shots and then continuing the pressure in the ring. Hager's toying with Eddie at this point as he dumps him out and once again hits a snap suplex on the outside. Hager is staying right on Eddie and not letting him get anything going, and he just slams Eddie down, but only gets a 1 count. Eddie can sure take a beating is one thing I have noticed over Eddie's time in AEW. I don't know what you'd want to call it, his AEW career, I guess. Hager and Eddie start to exchange chops in the center of the ring, and Eddie starts to show some life as he chops Hager down and goes for the big boot, but Hager just tosses him across the ring. Hager does not let up, but Eddie uses some interesting tactics and shows life again. These two are just beating the shit out of each other, proving the hatred they have for one another, not just the hatred their teams have. Hager hits the Hager bomb out of nowhere, but Kingston just won't die. He hits a series of suplex, but Hager stays alive this time. Hager then picks the leg and locks in the ankle lock. Eddie gets out, but Hager stays on him, and Kingston then is able to powerbomb Hager out of the corner. He's able to hit 2 Hurricanes, or spinning back fists, for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. Hager really showed himself in that match. He dominated a lot of the match, and Eddie really did show his heart, having taken an absolute beating throughout that match. Britt Baker talks backstage. She says that she's been distracted lately because Tony had her hands all over the women's title and calls Tony arrogant and says Tony's skipping the line, and that's not how things work here. She says she misses the title, but the title misses her more. For my WTR scale, I give that a good. We get Ortiz talking right to Jericho, calls him a scumbag, and says Ortiz will have to become a piece of shit to beat Jericho, and he's willing to do just that if that means taking Jericho's rock star hair. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. Ortiz really did. I love those down the pipe camera shots where he's just looking right in the camera, clearly talking right to Jericho. And just telling them like it is. I absolutely love it. We then get the tag team debut of Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal. Satnam Singh makes his in-ring debut entirely. Jay Lethal has had a few matches in AEW. As well, it's against a couple of debuts for AEW, Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett. They're just jobbers, really. They're local talent. I wish them nothing but luck in this, and I'm sure this match is going to be a long one. Lethal starts out, but then has second thoughts as he tags in Singh, and he starts to just manhandle Vega and Fitchett. He's just slamming them around. He drives himself into them. Lethal then comes in the ring, hits the double lethal injection, and they get the win. After the match, Singh just kind of tosses Matt with a spinning razor's edge, I guess? No. Yeah, I think it was like a spinning razor's edge or like a helicopter F5 or something along those lines. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. I mean, what did we expect Singh to do? The only thing I'm kind of worried about is the potential for an eventual Wardlow meeting. I hope we just keep those two as separate as we can. Keep Satnam Singh over here, keep Wardlow over here, and just never let them cross. Because if we don't want to ruin these two big monsters by lowering one and by making one monster the bit better monster. Keep them separate. Don't ever have them interact, at least for a while. But we then hear from Hookhausen, and I mean, we hear from them. They just kind of brag about how, they've won, which is awesome. But they kind of roll up in gators. Hooks is far nicer than Danhausen's, but that is just kind of, they're like, oh, we bought new cars after the win, and their undefeated streak has started. It just kind of felt unneeded, but it is exactly on par with what Hook and Danhausen have been doing and need to be doing. I am liking this. I think we could do a little more week to week than just have them drive in, say we won and we bought cars, and then drive out. But it was still good. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. We then get Red Velvet versus Chris Statlander, and Red tries to jump Chris from the start, but Statlander sees it coming and power slams her and then tosses her into the ring, where she drives a flying knee and then dumps Red back outside. Sorry. Chris stays on her, and Red then rakes the eyes and then just starts to wear down Chris. But Chris climbs the steps and then to the top rope, where she sends Red flying. Chris goes for a cross body off the top rope, but Red moves and tries to get something going, but Chris just catches her and goes for a suplex, but Red slips out and starts to target Chris's knee. Red takes control from there, locking in a sleeper, but Chris runs into the corner and Red answers with a big backstabber. Red thinks she has it won, but Chris isn't staying down. Chris slams Red into the corner and beats on her. Chris then hits a blue thunder bomb for a near fall. She then follows it up with a huge German suplex, followed by what basically looked like an inverted power bomb, but only gets a near fall. Red then hits a double knee drive kind of in the ropes, followed by a springboard cutter, but just doesn't. Statlander just doesn't die. Red sets up for the final slice, but Chris catches it and then hits Friday Night Fever for the win. After the match, Kiera Hogan and Jade Cargill jump Statlander, and Jade takes her out with a pump kick. Anna Jay comes out to make the save, but the numbers overpower Anna, and then Athena makes her way out, but she is stopped by the referee corps before she can get into the ring. I'm excited for the eventual meeting of Jade versus Athena, and I can't wait. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We are then shown a recap of Miro's return as he's gets ready for his match against Ethan Page. Ethan Page says it's been a hell of a return, but says all Miro is using his god for is as an excuse. Says he doesn't pray to a god, he prays to himself, and says he will represent Canada and will win this match against Miro and then go on to win the All-Atlantic Championship, and then Miro will pray to Page. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. That was very, very funny and a kind of a nice, clever way of responding to what Miro has been doing. Mark Henry talks with the United Empire and FTR and Trent before their main event. Will says they are here to separate the sheep from the goats. Trent says he doesn't care about that, and FTR says they are the last guys you want to piss off and took money out of their hands, so tonight they are going to get payback. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. We then get our main event, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. It seems like they may have lost the AAA titles, but I have not heard anything about this, so I'm not certain. But the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, FTR and Trent Beretta versus Will Ospreay and Aussie Open, the United Empire. This match is going to be epic, as these guys are all amazing in the ring. Ospreay is arguably the best singles wrestler in the world today, and he starts out against Dax. They quickly start to grapple, and Dax shocks Will and gets a tag to Cash, and they go back and forth, and Will eventually gets the tag. Aussie Open takes control, tossing Cash and Trent around, and they start to wear down. Eventually, they are able to start to wear down Mark Davies for a little bit. Mark, though, explodes back and tags in Will to start to wear down Trent. Everyone starts to brawl in the ring, and Trent hits a moonsault to the outside, taking out Will, and then he seems to have rolled his ankle, and it slows him down, allowing Aussie Open to distract him, and then Will takes the legs out, and UE, or United Empire, triple teams Davis. Or, triple teams Trent. Davies and Fletcher then tag in and out, but Trent starts to show some life, if only for a moment. And then Will comes in and continues the pressure on Trent with a headlock. Trent does start to fight back, and Will smashes him down with the hard elbows. Trent hits a back body drop, and the United Empire stays on Trent, but Trent, though, does fight to the tag, and Dax comes in, and he starts to roll, taking on everyone that comes in. Dax hits the triple suplex, and Cash and Dax double team Fletcher for a near fall. Cash has to fight off all the members of the United Empire as his team has been taken out. He was going for a tag, and he realized he's on his own. United Empire triple teams Cash, and Trent makes the save on only one leg. Ospreay hits the Aussie cutter, or the Oz cutter, I think they said, for a near fall, and then Trent comes in, takes out Fletcher, and then tries to take out Will, but Will takes him out and then dives on FTR on the outside. Fletcher and Trent go back and forth in the ring, and Trent is able to hit strong zero for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. That was an absolutely epic match, and seeing Will Ospreay on AEW has been fantastic. My overall for the show, it was very good. They did, I think, exactly what we needed to do as we're building up for Forbidden Door, and yeah, it has been awesome. My segment of the night goes to Ortiz. He killed that down the pipe promo. It was very good. My match of the night is the main event. Absolutely epic. The performer of the night goes to Eddie Kingston. The guy just knows how to take a beating and make it look awesome. But that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I'll see you in the next one.